Hey everybody, this is Vicky Stout with Happy Stout Art. Not too happy today. When you're sad, you take that emotions and you put it into artwork and you paint. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm releasing all these emotions into my artwork. Today I'm doing a fall theme, fall colors, fall animals, the animals you think of when you think of autumn. And I just finished an owl and I'll show that to you. There's my owl. And you notice the fall colors in the background behind the owl. And I'm going to do the same with this deer. I believe it's a red deer. Red deers reside within the country of Russia. And they're very well known and popular there. Probably hunted in the fall. So I'm going to do some fall leaves in the background, various colors of the fall leaves. And I'm just going to blot them in. I'm not going to make details out of this. We don't need details, just a hint of fall leaves in the background. And so you just gently blot it in. Hope you can hear me. I'm talking really soft today. I just don't feel like being loud. You know, there's enough going on. So, just laying down a foundational background colors. It's okay if you go over the lines. So we're starting out with brown or burnt sienna. And I'm just blotting it in there. Just a hint that there's leaves in the background. Autumn is the breeding season of most deer, elk, and other animals. And in the spring they give birth. So this is called the rutting season, and fall is the season of the rut. So we're just putting in the background. Let's add a little bit of red because leaves can be bright red as well as purple. And we're going to throw some red in there. Really give it some color, a pop. And you hear that noise in the background. It's my fan. It's still kind of warm, but it's starting to cool down here in El Paso. We're starting to feel a little nippy. I know I put pants on last night when I went to bed. I normally would wear shorts. And it was cold this morning. Not real super cold, but it was a hint that fall is coming. Okay, let's balance it out. Put some red on the other side. And we're just blotting it in, just like that. We're not making leaves. We're making a background. And the black background would be kind of blurred. And now I want to throw in some orange, the most common color for fall leaves. And like I said, I'm blotting it in. Don't worry if you go over the lines. You can correct that later. And I think I'm hitting the camera with my brush. I'm sorry. Sorry. What other colors do trees have? Green. You want to throw in some green because not all the leaves are changing. There are some that are still green. So you want to do the background a little green too, and that's dark green, which is perfect. You want it to be bright and colorful. And let it spread out. That's fine. You want it to do that. So today is just kind of a quiet day, just contemplating what happened. I believe my daughter kept handling the kitten too much, and the mother was under a lot of stress as well because of the sudden move that they had to do with my daughter's sister-in-law. And she put her in charge of taking care of her cats and 3 kittens. There was 3 of them. The youngest one was only like 2 or 3 weeks old. His eyes were barely opening. And I think the stress of the move got to the mom. And my son-in-law says that the mom killed the baby, but I don't think that's what happened. I think the baby died because my daughter went and gave the baby a bath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the antlers dark, because the picture itself is pretty dark. It's probably like a gloomy day. And just so the antlers will stand out. You want to leave a little bit of white in the painting. With watercolors, you don't use white, you leave white. See, it ran a little bit there, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll redo that part. And these are just really quick, for me, really quick, relaxing style paintings. You know, just relaxing, getting my mind off of the situation and concentrate on something else for a change. Yesterday I was in a lot of pain when I was trying to paint. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't be painting when I'm in pain, but since art is therapy, you want to paint to relieve pain anyways. Because painting, especially in watercolor, makes you focus in on what you're doing and unfocus on what you don't want to focus in on. So here it's pretty flat. This one kind of ran into the green there a little bit, but that's okay. And now we're going to paint the deer a burnt umber. He's got a little white around his eyes area. It's kind of like a white stripe, so we don't want to paint over that. I was watching Dances with Wolves because one of the Indian actors passed on, and I was thinking about him in the movie. I first saw Dances with Wolves with my Aunt Carrie back in North Carolina. She pretty much dragged me to see the movie. I didn't really want to go, but you know what? I'm so glad she took me to see the movie, because it spoke volumes to me. Her husband is a Native American, or was a Native American Cherokee. He later died from dementia. And that was the first movie I ever saw with them together. And I think it was the last movie we saw together, because if I went to the movies in North Carolina, I went by myself. I didn't take anybody with me. Back then, movies were $1.50. Can you believe it? I was 20 years old, and movies were $1.50. So now I'm going to switch to a bigger brush to do the body. We're not going for details here. We're just going in and painting. We are just letting it flow. And it's okay if there's a little bit of white spots. That's fine. You can go darker as you go down, or you can go lighter. It really doesn't matter. Yeah. See if I can center it some more so you can see. I have a hard time working with these cameras, you know. Not used to it. We're all kind of new at this stuff, aren't we? Okay, now we're going to work on his face a little bit. So I'm going to grab my number 8 brush again. And I'm going to go for a lighter brown that I already have mixed on my palette. It's kind of a reddish brown. I need to add some more color to it. There we go. I'm just going to blot it in there. See how I'm doing that? And we're going to leave it white around the nose area. In fact, it's kind of gray, really, in the picture. But we're going to leave it white. And now I'm going to paint his nose, which is really a dark color, really black color. There's a little bit of blue too in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ultramarine, which is kind of a purplish color, and go in here and do purple. Now you may be thinking purple, but you know what? The purple will stand out and give more character to the mouth and the nose. So I'm going to do brown for the lips. You do not have to follow the rules, okay? You can make a painting any way you want, with any colors you want. There are no rules to art. None. I don't care what anybody tells you. There are no rules. Put some black around the ears to outline it, to show the ears. Normally I listen to music, but you know, YouTube will kind of block that, so I'm not going to play any music in the background because YouTube is stupid. They blot out it for copyright. Call it copyright. Yeah, sure. Oh, I missed some antlers. I see that. Right over here, I missed a couple of antlers. Yeah, make that darker. And then I want to come back in here and do this again, since it got wiped out. If I don't like something, like I said, well, that kind of looks kind of goofy, you take the paper towel, tear it up, and just blot if you don't like something. See how you did that? And it just erases it and also dries it out, so it gives you a clean slate. So I didn't like that, and I wanted it a little bit lighter anyways. I think I'll just leave that alone. It looks kind of weird, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Now I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I might want to do to maybe improve the background a little. Maybe add some more yellow to the background, some more fall leaves. Kind of blot in that white a little bit so that the edges don't look so sharp. And you want white, yes, but you don't want the edges to be harsh. And over here's a little messed up. I like it. Blot it out. Okay. If I don't like something, blot it out. Don't forget the trees have branches, so we want to throw in some branches. Branches are not straight. They curve and they run different directions, so like add in some curves. And you know what? If you mess up or you feel like you've messed up, don't fret over it. Don't get upset. Nobody's perfect. Is that looking like a little better to you, or should I just stop? You know, the hard part about painting is knowing when to quit, when to stop, not to overwork it, but try to stay loose. You know, that's the hard part about painting in watercolor, is you want to just keep on and keep on and keep on, and you just really don't know when to stop. I think I want to make the deer a little bit darker now. You want to have that texture. I love the texture, how it came out. I want to have that texture, but I also want him to be a little bit darker and not so blend into the background so much. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back later.